Ariel had always dreamed of speaking English well. She wanted to travel, make new friends, and maybe even find a job that would help her use English. But when she first thought about learning English, it felt overwhelming. There were so many new words and rules to remember. Ariel wasn't sure if she could do it, but she knew she had to try. At first, Ariel started slowly. She didn't try to learn everything at once. She began with simple words, like hello and good morning. At the beginning, it felt strange to say these words out loud. Ariel would often practice in front of a mirror. She wanted to say the words clearly and with the right pronunciation. Sometimes she made mistakes, but that didn't stop her. Ariel told herself that it was okay to make mistakes because that is how we learn. Ariel understood that learning English wasn't something that would happen overnight. It would take time. She decided to take small steps every day. Instead of worrying about learning everything at once, she focused on learning a little bit each day. Ariel set a goal. She would learn 5 new words every week. It didn't matter how slowly she went, as long as she was moving forward. As the days passed, Ariel practiced every morning. She would wake up early and study for 15 minutes. During this time, she would read simple English books and repeat what she learned. At first, it was hard. Sometimes, Ariel would forget the words she had just learned. But she didn't let this discourage her. She reminded herself that learning takes time. Slowly but surely, Ariel started to understand more. She started to feel more comfortable using English, even though it was still not easy. One day, Ariel decided to take another small step. She spoke to her friend Maria in English for the first time. At first, she was nervous. She wasn't sure if she could say everything right. But she took a deep breath and tried. "Hello, Maria. How are you today?" she said. Maria smiled and answered her in English. Ariel felt proud, even though she made a few mistakes. The most important thing was that she was trying. After that conversation, Ariel felt more confident. She realized that speaking English was not about being perfect, it was about communicating. She didn't need to worry about making mistakes because everyone makes mistakes when learning something new. She also understood that it wasn't just about speaking, it was also about listening. Ariel began to listen to English podcasts and watch English videos. She tried to understand the words and repeat what she heard. The more she listened, the easier it became to understand. Ariel kept practicing every day. Each day, she spoke more confidently and understood more words. Even when she didn't know a word, she didn't stop. She would look it up and learn it. Ariel's biggest lesson was that learning English is about progress, not perfection. Every mistake was an opportunity to improve. One day, Ariel set a new goal. She decided to practice speaking for 5 minutes every day. At first, 5 minutes seemed like a lot, but soon it became easier. She would practice saying short sentences, like "How are you?" and "I'm fine, thank you." Over time, Ariel spoke more naturally, and her confidence grew. As she continued to practice, Ariel realized how important it was to be patient with herself. She didn't need to rush. Every day, she made a little progress. Ariel learned that learning English is not about being fast. It's about being steady and consistent. Small steps every day led to big progress over time. In the beginning, Ariel sometimes felt frustrated. She wanted to speak perfectly right away, but she learned that it was okay to make mistakes. Mistakes were just part of the process. The important thing was to keep going. Ariel kept practicing, and with time, speaking English became easier. Ariel also learned the importance of setting goals. Her first goal was to learn 5 new words a week, and she did it. She set another goal: practice speaking every day for 5 minutes. Ariel learned that setting small, realistic goals helped her stay on track. It made learning English feel less overwhelming. She could see her progress, and that made her feel good. As Ariel looked back, she was amazed at how much she had learned. She could now have simple conversations in English. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. She was proud of herself. Ariel knew that there would still be challenges ahead, but she was ready for them. She understood that learning a language is a journey, not a race. It takes time, But as long as she kept going, she would continue to improve. Ariel learned an important lesson: don't rush. Take small steps every day. Each small step helps you move forward. Even when it feels hard, keep practicing. The more you practice, the easier it gets, and most importantly, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning, and they help you grow. Now, Ariel feels more confident than ever. She knows that learning English isn't about perfection, it's about progress. And she's excited to continue on her journey, one step at a time. After practicing English for a few weeks, Ariel felt like she was ready for a new challenge. She had been learning new words and practicing speaking every day, but now she wanted to take it a step further. Ariel decided to speak with someone in English. Her friend Maria, who was also learning English, agreed to practice together. Ariel felt both nervous and excited. She had never spoken to anyone in English for more than a few minutes, but she knew this was an important step. When the day came, Ariel sat down in front of her computer, her heart beating fast. She said, "Hello, Maria, how are you today?" Maria smiled and responded in English. Ariel was happy that she could understand most of what Maria said, but she still felt nervous. Sometimes, she didn't know how to respond. She made some mistakes and didn't always know the right words, but Maria was kind and patient. They laughed together at the small mistakes, and Ariel felt a little more at ease. This first conversation was not perfect, but it was a big moment for Ariel. She realized that the goal was not to speak perfectly, but to communicate. Practice made her more confident, and the more she practiced, the easier it became to speak. Ariel learned that it was okay to make mistakes. Mistakes were just part of the learning process. The next day, Ariel decided to practice again. She repeated some of the phrases she used with Maria. "How are you today?" and "What's your favorite color?" These were simple questions, but practicing them made Ariel feel more confident. She didn't worry as much about making mistakes. Ariel realized that the more she spoke, the easier it was to remember words and phrases. Ariel also discovered the power of repetition. She learned that saying the same words or phrases many times helped her remember them better. For example, when she learned a new word, she would say it several times during the day. She would repeat it in different sentences and situations. The more she repeated the word, the more natural it felt. Ariel began to see that repetition was one of the best ways to improve her speaking. At the same time, Ariel also worked on her listening skills. She knew that speaking was important, but listening was just as important. She started listening to podcasts in English, watching English videos, and paying attention to how native speakers talked. By listening every day, Ariel started to hear the different sounds and words that were harder for her to understand at first. Gradually, she started to understand more, and that made her feel proud. Ariel learned that listening and speaking went hand in hand. The more she listened, the easier it was to speak. She could now understand many words and phrases without thinking too much. Ariel also realized that speaking in English wasn't only about saying the right words. It was about being confident and trying. The more she practiced, the more comfortable she became. She no longer worried about speaking slowly or making small mistakes. What mattered was that she was trying and improving. One day, Ariel had a conversation with a new friend in English. They talked about their hobbies and favorite activities. Ariel felt nervous at first, but she remembered what she had learned. She took a deep breath, smiled, and started speaking. At first, she made a few mistakes, but she didn't stop. She kept going. The more they talked, the easier it became. By the end of the conversation, Ariel was smiling. She had spoken more than she ever thought she could. This experience made Ariel realize something important. The key to improving her speaking was to practice every day. She understood that learning English wasn't about being perfect. It was about progress. Each conversation, each sentence, was another step forward. And every mistake was just a chance to learn more. As Ariel continued practicing, her confidence grew. She no longer felt afraid to speak. She started to believe in herself more. Each time she spoke, she felt more comfortable. Even when she didn't understand everything or made mistakes, Ariel knew that she was improving. Every day, she was getting closer to her goal of speaking English fluently. Ariel also realized that speaking with others helped her grow faster. Talking with native speakers, or even friends who were learning English like her, was a great way to practice. It helped her learn new words, understand different accents, and see how other people used English. Every conversation was a chance to learn something new. Ariel had come a long way since she started her journey. From the first day of feeling nervous and unsure, to speaking confidently with others, she had made amazing progress. She was no longer afraid of speaking English. She knew that the more she practiced, the better she would become. Ariel's journey was just beginning, but she was excited for what was ahead. She knew that with more practice, she would continue to improve. In the end, Ariel learned that the power of speaking practice is not just in the words you say. It's about the confidence you build, the mistakes you make, and the lessons you learn along the way. Speaking English isn't easy, but with practice, anyone can improve. Ariel's experience showed her that the key to becoming a better speaker is simply to keep practicing and never give up. And with each new conversation, Ariel's confidence grew, making her more excited to keep learning. Ariel learned something very important about learning English. Consistency is the key. After practicing for several weeks, she realized that the best way to improve was to practice every day. It didn't matter how long she practiced, as long as she did it regularly. So, Ariel decided to make English practice part of her daily routine. Every morning, she set aside 30 minutes to focus on her English. This routine helped her make steady progress. At first, Ariel practiced for only a few minutes. She focused on speaking and listening. She would listen to English podcasts, repeat what she heard, and speak to herself in English. Gradually, she added more activities to her routine. She started reading simple English books and writing short sentences. By sticking to this routine every day, Ariel felt that she was improving little by little. One of the most important things Ariel learned was that learning English is not about speed, but about being consistent. She didn't need to rush. Instead, she focused on practicing every day, even if it was just for a short time. Ariel knew that small, consistent actions would add up over time. She began to see the results of her efforts as her English skills improved bit by bit. Ariel also realized that practicing regularly helped her become more comfortable with English. She was no longer afraid to speak. She knew that, just like with any skill, the more she practiced, the better she would get. Even on days when she felt tired or busy, Ariel made sure to practice for at least a few minutes. This daily habit helped her feel confident in her ability to speak English. As Ariel continued her daily practice, she started to notice that she was remembering more words and phrases. Her vocabulary grew every day. She learned new words by reading, listening to podcasts, and watching English videos. Ariel kept a notebook where she wrote down new words. She would go over the words every few days to make sure she remembered them. The more words she learned, the more confident she felt. One day, Ariel realized that her ability to understand spoken English was improving, too. She had been listening to English podcasts and videos every day, and now she could understand more than before. At first, Ariel had to focus hard to catch the words, but now it was easier. She could follow conversations more easily, and this made her feel proud. Ariel knew that listening every day was helping her become better at understanding English. In addition to listening, Ariel also practiced speaking in real-life situations. She started using English when she went to the store, when she talked to her friends, and when she traveled. Ariel practiced asking for directions, ordering food, and making small talk. Each time she used English in real life, she felt more comfortable and confident. These small experiences helped Ariel build her fluency. She realized that language learning is not just about studying in books. It's also about using the language in everyday situations. Another important part of Ariel's journey was that she didn't compare herself to others. At first, she worried about how quickly she was learning compared to other people. But soon, Ariel learned that everyone learns at their own pace. She stopped worrying about being perfect or about how fast she was learning. Ariel focused on her own progress and celebrated each small victory. Whether it was learning a new word, having a conversation, or understanding a new podcast, each step forward was something to be proud of. Ariel's confidence grew as she continued practicing. She began to feel comfortable speaking English with others, and she wasn't afraid to make mistakes anymore. Ariel knew that making mistakes was a natural part of learning. When she made mistakes, she didn't feel bad about it. Instead, she saw them as opportunities to learn. Ariel's attitude changed. She was no longer focused on being perfect. She focused on learning and improving every day. As time passed, Ariel's English became stronger. She felt more confident speaking with others, listening to podcasts, and reading books. She didn't need to translate every word anymore. She started thinking in English. Ariel knew that she still had a long way to go, but she was happy with how far she had come. Her goal was not to speak perfect English, but to be able to communicate easily and confidently. Ariel understood that fluency comes with time, practice, and patience. One of the most powerful lessons Ariel learned was that you don't need to be perfect to succeed. What matters is that you keep practicing. Ariel wasn't always perfect in her English, but she kept going. She didn't let mistakes or setbacks stop her. Every day, she practiced, and every day, she improved. Looking back, Ariel was proud of how far she had come. She had started as a beginner, nervous to speak English, but now she could communicate confidently. She knew that language learning is a journey, not a race. Ariel was excited for what was to come. She would continue practicing every day, always striving to improve. Ariel understood that the key to achieving fluency and confidence in English was simple: keep practicing and never give up. With time, patience, and consistency, anyone could learn a new language. As we reach the end of Ariel's journey, we can look back at the incredible progress she made. At the beginning, she was nervous and unsure, but she took the first steps and started learning English. Ariel faced challenges, made mistakes, and felt frustrated at times, but she didn't give up. Instead, she learned from her mistakes and continued to practice every day. Her progress wasn't always fast, but it was steady, and little by little, she became more confident in her English. Ariel's story teaches us an important lesson. Success doesn't happen overnight, but it is possible with patience, consistency, and a positive attitude. Learning a new language, or achieving any goal, is not about being perfect. It's about making small efforts every day, even when things feel difficult. Ariel's ability to speak English today is the result of consistent practice, setting small goals, and, most importantly, never giving up. Every step she took brought her closer to her goal. We can apply this lesson to our own lives, whether we are learning a language or working on any other goal. The key to success is not rushing or trying to be perfect, but staying consistent and learning from each experience. If we make small, steady progress every day, we will see the results over time. Just like Ariel, we must remember that mistakes are not failures, they are simply opportunities to learn and grow. So, what can we learn from Ariel's story? First, consistency is important. Whether it's learning a language, working on a project, or trying to improve any skill, doing something small every day will help us improve over time. Second, don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are a natural part of the learning process. Instead of feeling discouraged, we should use mistakes as a way to get better. Finally, remember that progress takes time. Keep going, even when it feels hard. With patience and persistence, we will reach our goals. Congratulations for listening to this story. By following Ariel's journey, you have not only learned valuable lessons, but also practiced your English listening skills. You've come a long way in your learning journey, and you should be proud of your progress. Now, here's a small quiz for you. What is the key to Ariel's success in learning English? A. She practiced every day. B. She gave up when things were hard. Please comment with your answer or B below. I'm excited to hear what you think. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more helpful content to continue improving your English skills. Your support encourages us to create more content for you. If you find our lessons helpful, please consider donating to help us continue making high-quality content. We do this for free because we want to help you learn. But any support you provide would make a big difference as we continue this journey together. Thank you for being part of this community.